Welcome to our channel Happy Bellyfish. I'm Shrikant Singh and today I'm going to show you how you can make delicious recipes with oats, both savory and sweet. I'll also be showing the different types of oats that are available in the market so that you can get the one that suits your needs. The first recipe is the savory oats recipe or the masala oats. Most of the ingredients you will need for this recipe you will already be having in your kitchen. This recipe can be made with any type of oats and that will change the amount of cooking time and the preparation time that you will need. The type of oats I'm going to use are the whole oats or what are also known as groats. To use this type of groats in this recipe, you will have to soak them and cook them first. I'm going to explain the different types of oats later in this video, so do not worry if I'm using different names of different oats. So now let's see what we need to make this recipe. We'll need 1 cup of cooked groats, half a cup of carrot, half a cup of fresh green beans, half a cup of onion and half a cup of tomatoes. You will also need some cooking oil of your choice. I'm going to use this cold pressed coconut oil. And of course, you need to make this dish look, smell and taste nice. So we are going to use some spices like turmeric. Turmeric will give a nice yellow color and an earthy flavor. Curry powder or garam masala, it will give you some spiciness and stock-like taste to the porridge. Black or brown mustard seeds for some nuttiness and pungency. A few curry leaves to give some woody aroma, and if you do not have these leaves, do not worry, it is still possible to make this recipe. To garnish, use a handful of fresh cilantro or any other herb that you have. Now it's time to cook. Heat a tablespoon of oil in a frying pan and add 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds to it. When the seeds begin to splutter and crackle, add the curry leaf. Now add the vegetables, onion, carrot and beans. Cook it for about 2 minutes and then add the tomatoes and cook for a further 1 minute. Don't overcook these vegetables, don't make them too soft because oats are already very soft, very mushy, so we need some difference in texture here. Lower the heat and add the spices. Add half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, half a teaspoon of curry powder or garam masala. Mix everything nicely, stirring it for about half a minute. Now add the cooked groats and mix everything together one more time. Add some water to get a thick soup-like consistency and cook until it comes to boil. Turn off the heat, add some fresh cilantro or any other herb that you have and mix and cover the pot with a lid and leave it alone for some time. When you serve this dish, add a dash of lemon juice and garnish with some more cilantro. Adding cilantro or any other herb makes the dish aromatic and this triggers the appetite in you. It also helps you digest the food better. This warm and savory oats is one of my favorite breakfasts, and this is how a savory oats must be made, with spices that bring out vibrant colors and warm, soothing aroma. The second recipe is the one that you see quite often. They look great and taste like a dessert for a morning breakfast. I'm talking about overnight oats. But think about it for a moment. Almost every health advice that you get, drinking warm water first thing in the morning is one of them. So how does a cold breakfast like overnight oats fit in? No doubt, it's a great recipe for those people who may not have the time to cook, especially in the morning, or for those who have a decision fatigue. Should I exercise or should I cook, or can I be late to work today? But there is a way to make it without refrigerating it, and I'm going to show you how. Rolled oats, which are also known as old-fashioned oats, are the best type of oats for this recipe. Take a jar or a glass like this one and fill it with about 1 cup of oats. Now pour water into the bowl so that the oats are fully immersed. When you soak the oats in water and not dairy, you do not have to refrigerate it to preserve. You can leave it on the kitchen counter the whole night. Whereas if you soak oats in milk and leave it at room temperature, the milk will curdle or sour. To make it more nutritious, I am also going to soak a tablespoon of chia seeds and a handful of almonds. And that's all. That's your preparation for this recipe before you hit the bed and shut your eyes. By morning, these rolled oats that were soaked in water are soft enough. The chia seeds have also expanded and softened, and the almonds have also soaked nicely. All you have to do now is quickly assemble them together, and it really takes no time. But it appears like the glass that I've used for soaking the oats is too small. So let's put this beer mug to better use. Now comes the part of flavoring these oats, and here you can choose to add plant-based milk or dairy. The choice is completely yours. Your other options are soy milk, almond milk, oat milk, or even no milk. It will still taste great. Now slowly pour the coconut milk in this mug with soaked oats. Add a tablespoon or more of soaked chia seeds and mix it. Take the soaked almonds and peel the skin and chop them coarsely like this. Take the soft dates and chop them into chunks. Add the almonds and dates on the top. And if you wish, you can add a teaspoon of raw honey to make it sweeter. Optionally, you can add fruit topping of your choice, a few slices of kiwi, pomegranate, seasonal berries, or fruits like apples and mango. They make great toppings too. But here's one rule that you must always remember. Add fruits only if you're using plant-based milk. Dairy and fruits, they do not mix well and do not digest well together, and it can lead to bloating. And here you have your tasty, hearty, and a quick overnight oatmeal recipe that needs no cooking and no refrigeration, and it is not served cold to you. The only thing that needs to be served cold is revenge, and I'm pretty sure those humble oats are not wanting to have or take any revenge on you. The cold overnight oats from refrigerator are great time savers. They are favorite of meal planners, but they are not exactly good for your gut. And that's because cold food affects digestion severely, which can lead to bloating and constipation and cramps. Cold foods also suppresses your satiety hormones, so you do not satisfy your hunger and you tend to overeat. Cold foods also lead to nasal congestion, your breathing is affected, and you feel fatigued. Try the overnight oatmeal recipe that I have shown, and you'll be surprised at how little effort it takes. Let me know in the comments if you have eaten cold foods before and if you have experienced what I'm talking about. This is also a great recipe for those who are traveling and who do not have access to kitchen. If you take rolled oats or quick oats, you can soak them in warm water and it is even ready to eat within 10 minutes. Now let's look at the type of the oats that are available in the market. You will usually find oats of these types: oat groats, steel cut oats, rolled oats or old-fashioned oats, Scottish oats, and quick oats or instant oats. Each of these oats have a different cooking time and differ in the texture after cooking. Nutritionally, they are all believed to be equal. However, the fiber content is highest in groats and steel cut oats and least in quick oats. Now, the word groats is applicable to any type of grain that's least processed. It's basically dehulled, and then you have the rest of the grains. So with oats as well, this is the least processed type of oats. The oat grain is dehulled and the grain is completely intact, containing the bran, the endosperm and the germ. So groats can even be sprouted just like you sprout mung beans. They have a very chewy texture and have to be soaked in water for at least 4 hours. This needs the longest amount of prep time. Once they have soaked, they usually become so soft that you can actually chew them very easily even when it is uncooked. The steel cut oats are also called as pinhead oats, Irish oats or coarse oatmeal. These are the groats that have been cut into 2 or 3 pieces, and because of this the cooking time is greatly reduced. The texture of steel cut oats is less coarse than groats, but it is still coarse. Now the more commonly consumed oats are the rolled oats, and most beginners, they actually start here and they finish here. These are also known as the old-fashioned oats. They are produced by a process where whole oats are steamed and then rolled into thick flakes. These oats are brittle, they soak very easily in water, and they take very little time to cook and retain a substantial amount of fiber. The quick oats are processed in the same way as rolled oats, but they are steamed for longer and rolled into much thinner flakes to reduce the cooking time. But between rolled oats and quick oats, I would recommend that you go for rolled oats. They are more fibrous and can digest much slower than quick oats and can keep you full for longer. Scottish oatmeal is a stone ground oatmeal where groats are ground and broken into smaller bits, and they have a very coarse flour-like consistency. Now let's look at how to deal with groats and steel cut oats. and the texture that you get after cooking. Firstly, these oats have to be soaked for at least 4 hours or preferably overnight. Whenever you soak any grain or legume, you need to rinse it at least once. To cook these oats, add soaked oats to a pot and add 3 times the water to the volume of unsoaked oats. Bring it to boil and then lower the flame to simmer. The oat groats will take between 25 to 30 minutes and steel cut oats take between 15 to 20 minutes to cook. You must remember to stir the oats often because they become quite slimy during the cooking process and tend to stick to the bottom of the pot. As you can see, the groats and steel cut oats have a very different texture when cooked. Groats are coarser and much more chewy compared to steel cut oats. Let's see how you make porridge, this classic porridge that is often served whenever you think of oats. To make this classic porridge, add 1 cup of water to a pot. Add 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of oats. You can add salt optionally. Adding salt brings this nuttiness of these oats out, and very quickly simple oats porridge is ready. I'm going to add this roasted almonds, dates and some dried edible rose petals. These edible flowers are soothing and they give a very nice floral aroma to the dish. Drizzle some honey on the top and a hearty, warm, simple porridge is ready to be enjoyed. But why did oats become the darling of almost anybody who wants to have a very healthy breakfast? And the reason for that is this soluble fiber that oats contain in the highest amount, which is beta-glucan. Beta-glucan helps in slow digestion and it increases the satiety. This fiber attracts water and increases the viscosity of the digested food, which increases the volume of food in your gut and can keep you full for longer. Beta-glucan also helps in stabilizing blood sugar levels. It is also considered to be anti-inflammatory and is a choice of food for those with IBS and diabetes. I have personally learned a lot about oats while making this video, and I hope this video will help you in choosing the right type of oats for you and make many more wonderful recipes with them. To see more videos on a variety of foods, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you for watching and I will see you once again very soon.